All right, guys, we are on. All right, everybody, how's everyone doing? You guys know Miguel Corona. We are located here in Cathedral City, California, guys. And I'm doing these videos to get out of my comfort zone. And not only that, guys, but it's something that I've always wanted to done. I always wanted to do, and it's always been in my mind to do this. Like, honestly, I just have it in me. I know my videos are gonna start off, however they start off, and we're just gonna keep it going from there, guys. So I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about what I learned and what's worked for me and what's worked for a lot of people, to be honest with you guys. What's worked for a lot of people. And here it goes, guys. Everything counts. Yes, everything counts, guys. Here it is. The food that we eat, the calories in, they count. The thoughts we entertain, it counts. The books we read and the ones we don't read, that fucking counts too. The tapes we listen to, so this can be Audible, this can be YouTube. You can always look for books on YouTube and listen to them while you work. So one thing that I did do in the past, and I still do up till now, but I remember when I started my company back in like 2018, 2019, I was cleaning pools out there, and one of the things I would do was I would put my headphones on and I would listen to books. I would listen to YouTube videos that were basically testimonials for people. They're testimonials that would just help me change a little bit about how I was thinking and what and this is a good one. So let me see. I'm gonna put this down right here. This also counts. We'll put it under belief systems. Right? So before watching these videos, guys, my belief system was way different. My belief system was basically like that hour that I would give time for money, right? And what would that look like to me would be like the more accounts that I got, the more pools that I would clean, the more money I would make. And yet that is true to a certain point. When I started to listen to these people that would speak, and one of the ones that I can remember right off my mind right now would be like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I would listen to Sylvester Stallone. I would listen to Tony Robinson. I would listen to Les Brown, Jim Rohn. I would listen to all these guys, and they were basically disrupting my belief system. They were telling me things that I was very unaware of, and little did I know, I fast forward now a couple years into the future, and we're looking at around 5 to 6 years, and look where I'm standing at right now, and this is just the beginning point, right? Basically what I learned was that the more value that you give to yourself, the more value that, the more books you read. Let's go back to the board right here. The more books that I read, the tapes that I listened to, the testimonials, the people that I surrounded myself with. One of the things I wrote at the bottom too were the weights at the gym, right? The weights that we lift. It all counted. It all counts. It really all counts. Everything counts. And the way I see it is the books that I read, right? Me reading the Bible, me exercising, me being in alignment with my thoughts, my energy, my vibration. It all fucking counts. It opens so many doors to so many opportunities. I can stand here and tell you that right now, that just this morning, because people see my videos, people get to know who I am behind the camera, because I put aside my fears of what people would say behind the camera, right? or just my insecurities. And coach always told me this: if you're still worried about what people, the way you're dressed, the way you look, or what people are going to say about you or think about you, you're really still in that selfish mode where like it's all about you still. And it's not about what you can give, what you offer to the community, what we contribute to the community. Still learning that word. But basically that's what it is. Like this person tells me, hey, I got a couple accounts. I want you to go take a look at them. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take a look at them and I'll get you a quote. He goes like, don't even worry about it. Just do them. What does that tell you? Like, honestly, it blew my mind but it makes sense. It makes sense, right? You're writing at a high frequency. You're getting out of your comfort zone. You're giving more than what you're getting paid for. What does that do? It makes you more valuable. And that's one of the things that I learned, was that becoming more valuable is exactly what we need to do. We can be at a job, but if I grew up when I started working, I remember hearing this a lot, and a lot of people would say, I'm gonna say it in Spanish real quick, pa $8 que pagan la hora, ¿qué más quieren? And that was something that I would be listening to all the fucking time. And then I'd be like, in me, I didn't really like agree with that, but everybody around me was saying that. Like, don't work too hard, don't work too much. ¿Qué más quieren por $8 la hora? And I was like, fuck, like this shit can't be right. And then everywhere I went to work, I always wanted to do more. I always wanted to be like recognized for doing more and giving more. And I was like, eventually I'll do it for a while, and eventually they'll recognize me, and then I'll get a raise. I'll get another dollar. Whatever it was. I went through a lot of jobs. I've done a little bit of almost everything to come to realize that no one's really gonna, how would I say it? Like, I guess I didn't come across a lot of opportunities, and I had to make a decision at some point, which was that I wasn't being valued where I was at, right? Where I was at, I was doing more. I was just trying to stand out, to be honest with you. And I really never ever got that opportunity. So I made my own opportunity. Even at the last pool company that I worked for, I remember that we would all, and I'm not going to say any names, but all my friends, we would get together and we complain about the things that we didn't like in the company. And when it came down to speak to the boss, to say something at the meetings, nobody said shit. Nobody said shit. I was like, what the fuck? Like, where's all that talk? Anyways, with that being said, was basically I started to like stop being around the gossip. I had to make a decision. I stopped being around the gossip, and that's where this comes, right? The people that we surround ourselves with. I had to like stop hanging around. I just stopped talking to them while I was working, because not only was I home tired physically, but I was home tired mentally from all the shit we would talk. So that's when I started to listen to the tapes, listen to the testimonies, because those were the things that gave me my belief system, which gave me that one beautiful word that we should all have in our dictionary, which is hope. It gave me hope for a better future, for a better chance to honestly like get another opportunity to become better. Anyways, there was many years down the road, but I stuck to it. I stuck to my belief system, even though nobody believed in me. I can tell you stories and stories about when I wanted to start my company, when I wanted to get out of like the gardening, when I was doing gardening, I wanted to get out of gardening. I could tell you stories about that. I could tell you stories when I was working for this pool company and I wanted to do my own thing. And honestly, like, it's always, the devil's always going to use the people that you love the most. He's always going to use those people to tell you, you know, and it's not that they don't love you. Believe me, it's not that they don't love you. Most of the time, I found out that it's just that people are scared to see people fail. The people that they love the most. They don't want to see them fail. But even Jesus Christ says it when God reveals to him his purpose and tells him that he's going to die on the cross. And he tells him exactly what's going to happen. And Jesus tells his best man, Peter, hey, and he tells the disciples, this is what's going to happen. And Peter gets a little angry and he starts saying like, no, we're going to fight back. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And what does Jesus tell Peter? Jesus tells Peter, back off, Satan, back off. Think about like how shocking it was to Peter to listen to that, and to disciples to listen to Jesus tell his best, like the guy that he built the church on, the rock. For him to tell him that was like shocking to them. But that's just another like lesson, right? It tells us something. It tells us that the devil is going to use the closest people to you to try to stop you from your purpose, to try to stop you from your goals. Thank God I didn't let those people stop me. Thank God I trusted the vision and I kept on moving. My vision, I remember it clearly. I remember it and I was like, I'm going to have this many trucks with my name on it. And we're going to be servicing the whole Coachella Valley. And when I would think about this, I would get excited. Something in me would get super excited. And I was like, I would get pumped. And then I would just, every client I would always like, oh my God, I was super happy. I was always very happy and very grateful for every client that I came across and that I was able to help. It was amazing. It was amazing, guys. But going back to the board, the food that we eat. The food that we eat is so fucking important. Why? Because the way we eat is the way we feel. And the way we feel is the way we act. How many times, and I can tell you how many times I ate all that juicy food that I craved the most. Pizza, cheeseburgers, French fries, hot dogs, chili cheese fries, all of that good stuff. Therefore, I thought. And then I felt like shit. I didn't feel like doing anything. I'd pound another soda and another. So I'd probably drink like even sometimes 3 sodas in one fucking meal. Then I'd go sit down on the couch and I'd feel, I didn't do that. I would go out and I'd smoke a cigarette because now, después de un taco, se ocupa un buen tabaco. That was the fucking dicho that would be running across my family and shit. But anyways, that has a lot to do with it, guys. If there's anything I can share with you guys is that the way I eat now has transformed everything. It's given me so much confidence. It's given me so much confidence that I'm able to stand right in front of you. Why? Because I've accomplished certain things in my life now that I love to share with you guys. So your guys' belief system and developing hope, to bring back that hope, because that's the last thing we lose. La fe es lo último que deberemos de perder, right? So with that, with the food, the thoughts we entertain, okay, the thoughts that we entertain are going to be, it's going to be very, very crucial to what is of us at the end of the day, like what becomes of us. Because if we're thinking, that was one thing that as I started to like reintroduce myself to the world, to my family members, and I would tell them about all these ideas that I had and all these plans I had for my future, they would be like, well, you got to be realistic. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to be realistic. You got to think. And I was just like, the way that I was like being, basically my belief system was changing, was to just believe it can be done, and it would be done. And these people, close people to me, would tell me that I had to be realistic, that I couldn't be optimistic all the time. And at the time, I didn't have a community. All I had were my tapes that I would listen to, my testimonies that I would listen to, and I would grab onto them, guys. I'd grab onto them with all my fucking strength. I'd grab onto those tapes and I would re-listen to them. I even I didn't know nothing about meditation. I didn't know nothing about talking to God. I thought that I would just go to church on Sunday and then that would be enough. God wants a relationship with us. Just like the muscle needs to be exercised, so does our relationship with God needs to be exercised. That's one of the things I learned with my coach as well. So that's transformational, guys. Like, honestly, a coach is exactly what we all need. A community is exactly what we all need. We need tests so we can prove ourselves, so we can pass these tests and feel good about ourselves. I'm not gonna lie, like, today I was a little nervous about doing this. But you know what? I was like, let's go ahead and let's just do it, because if what's worth doing is worth doing bad until you do it right. So this is the first video, guys. This is like the first major video that I do here, and there's gonna be plenty of them more, because I'm gonna continue to pass more tests, and these tests are gonna be here on this board and here in my videos, so you can see that if I can do it, you can do it. That is so fucking true. That's the only reason why we should be leveling up, is so we can show our community that if we can do it, you can do it. This video is for everybody and anybody that wants to believe and wants to change their belief systems and basically grab your hope back, grab your faith back, and fight for what you want in life. I can tell you what I want. This is exactly what I want. What I'm doing right now is exactly what I want to do. I want to continue to grow my businesses, and I want to continue to contribute and to give to the community, because there is no better feeling than giving, guys.